Members of the sunfish family are generally deep-bodied and compressed laterally, which provides them with a round and thin pancake-like appearance. Their fins often have both soft rays and stiff spines that provide protection from predators. The common name crappie derives from the Canadian French word crappie. The average lifespan is 4 to 5 years. The average length is 8 inches. And the average weight of an adult crappie is 1½ pounds. Crappie are school fish that roam constantly. You may catch a crappie in one spot, and 2 hours later, that same school might be 200 yards away. There are usually about 20 crappie in a school, and they school by size. The big crappie don't school, but they do follow the schools of smaller crappie around the lake. They usually stay deeper than the school fish. Find a school, and you just might hang a 2 or 3 pound crappie by fishing just outside that school. There's always a great debate in fishing boats far and wide. Is it a black crappie or is it a white crappie? The majority of anglers try to make their identifications based on body color, but a scientific angler won't fall into that trap with any fish species. Colors vary widely for black and white crappie, depending upon water clarity, season, and especially spawning conditions. A man named Samuel Eddy wrote the fish identification key that the majority of biologists subscribe to. According to Eddy, the final determination between a black and a white crappie is as follows. In white crappie, the distance from the eye to the front of the dorsal fin base is greater than the base of the dorsal fin. Other clues include the number of spiny dorsal rays, that is, the hard, sharp rays. A white crappie will typically have 5 or 6 spiny rays in the dorsal fin. In black crappie, the distance from the eye to the front of the dorsal fin base is about equal to the base of the dorsal fin. And a black crappie will typically have 7 or 8 spines. As you can see in this chart, anglers in the southeast, south central, and the Great Lakes areas of the country tend to be the most prolific crappie fishermen. This phenomenon can best be explained by the geographic distribution of crappie in the USA, indicated here by the brown-colored areas. Overall, there are about 6.8 million dedicated crappie anglers in the country. Crappie are a schooling fish and are very important game fish in the United States. Crappie are most often caught in the springtime when the annual spawn occurs, but can be caught year-round. They become less active in very cold water or in very warm water. Crappie will always hold on some type of structure and are quite sensitive to light, often moving deeper during the midday hours. Crappie feed primarily on smaller fish. Crappie are caught almost exclusively on natural bait or small jigs. In some places, night fishing under lights is very popular. If you are into a school of crappie and they stop biting, you can often get them started again by switching the color of your lure or by fishing slightly deeper. Crappies mate when they're 2 or 3 years old. Mating or spawning takes place in the spring when water temperatures reach 66 to 68 degrees. A female may lay as many as 20,000 to 140,000 eggs. The eggs hatch in 5 to 10 days, and the male guards both the eggs and the newly hatched fish. Only 2% of those hatchlings will survive to maturity. Live minnows and jigs are far and away the most popular enticements for crappie. And it's a rare occasion when you'll see a dyed-in-the-wool crappier using a bait or lure other than these. The best crappie presentation is a number 8 or number 6 thin bronze wire hook tied directly to 6-pound test line with no swivels. Add a single BB split shot on the line about 6 inches up from the hook. For fishing around or under docks, set a stick crappie bobber about 1 to 2 feet up the line. Most anglers use a size 4 or 6 hook through the minnow's back or mouth. Crappie are highly regarded game fishes and are often considered to be among the best tasting freshwater fish. Take a moment and copy down this Cajun recipe for crappie. It's unusual and very tasty. For ingredients, you'll need Zatarain's seasoned fish fry, French's yellow mustard, buttermilk, Lee & Perrin's Worcestershire sauce, red pepper, black pepper, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, peanut oil. For preparation, remove any excess moisture from the fillets and season it to your taste with dry seasoning. However, use salt sparingly because the Zatarain's does contain some salt. Next, apply a few dashes of Lee & Perrin's to the fillets and then coat them liberally with mustard. Pour the buttermilk over the fillets and soak them for at least 15 minutes. To fry, roll or shake fillets in the Zatarain's fish fry and then drop them in peanut oil heated to 365 degrees. We've discovered that bamboo is an excellent material for building fish habitat, sometimes called crappie condos, because they make excellent cover for young crappie and other species to feed around and hide in while they grow up. Fish can be caught on them within days of sinking them, and fish stay on them year-round when they're in the right depth range. Hooks are much easier to pull out of bamboo than wood, and it lasts much, much longer than most trees, especially the small, tight branches where small fish can hide. For these, use 1 5-gallon plastic bucket, 60 pounds of quickcrete, and about 20 freshly cut stalks of bamboo, about 12 to 15 feet tall, or only the top 12 to 15 feet of taller bamboo. The bushier the bamboo is, the better, and leave the branches and the leaves on. The biggest problem in building tall condos is keeping them standing up until the quickcrete sets, especially if there's any wind. Build yourself reusable jigs made from plastic culvert with 2x4 legs, which will hold the 5-gallon bucket secure inside. These work real well as long as the bamboo is cut no longer than 15 feet, and make sure there isn't a lot of wind. Next, put the larger bamboo stalks in the bucket at an angle so that the butt ends are at the bottom edge of the bucket and the stalks rest against the rim on the opposite side, and then work your way around the bucket. Then fill in the condo with the rest of the stalks. Make sure they're spread out at different angles all the way up to vertical. The concrete needs to set overnight, longer in cool weather, before you sink the condos. The completed condos are best placed on a large pontoon boat with an open deck and taken to the area you want to sink them in. We suggest using a second boat with a mapping GPS sonar to save a waypoint on the condo once it's been dropped. Finally, for world records, for black crappie, 6 pounds even, caught at West Weagle Canal, Louisiana, November 28, 1969. For white crappie, the world record is 5 pounds, 3 ounces. Caught at Enid Dam, Mississippi, July 31st, 1957. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget about our other angler logbooks for bass and for stripers. All logbooks have bonus CDs such as this one included. Fish on!